I could be wrong, and Boots goes and destroys Fundora. That'd be beautiful too. He's in boxing. He's a great name for boxing. Great fighter that could become the next big superstar also. But look, I have Vergil in the same weight division. So obviously we have to also push for that. Because I believe Vergil beats him. I think Vergil hits him. Vergil knocks him up. So it's hopefully Boots doesn't take the Fundora fight, because coming weeks to make the fight, but coming off a loss might not be that interesting. I want him to be a champion.
And we don't need to prove nothing. We don't need to chase a fight with Vergil. Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying, listen, we're not getting into that. What I'm saying is, listen, and I said this before Boots come in, we are not going to sit there with full of arrogance like some people would right now and say, tough luck Vergil Ortiz, he's the unified world champion, he's a superstar of the sport, get in line and take your 15% for a voluntary defence. That's what some people would say if they were arrogant. What we say is, we love the big fights.
He can get in big trouble fighting a guy like Ortiz.
You got too much Philly in him, Tim.
Too much Philly in him, Tim, I'm telling you.
Listen to me. He fights off of feeling, man, what I'm talking about. So if he don't feel you got any punch, guess what? He's willing to stand there and exchange with you.
He literally got hurt.
That's fine.
He got hurt.
That's fine.
But he know that he had
But did you see but did you see the reaction that he made?
Yes.
He stuck there, he tied him up. He bought himself some time, and then what did he do? He came back and blitzed him with combinations.
Yes, but he can't do that with every...
Robert Garcia shut down the idea that Vergil Ortiz Jr. needs a warm-up fight before stepping into the ring with Jaron "Boots" Ennis. From Garcia's perspective, there is no reason to waste time rebuilding momentum because Ortiz is already prepared for the biggest challenge available. While some believe a comeback bout would be the smarter path, Garcia insisted that Team Ortiz has no interest in taking a detour. If the opportunity to fight Boots comes next, they are ready to sign the contract immediately and move straight into one of boxing's biggest matchups.
We would do it. Look, I know Eddie mentioned something about maybe Vergil needs or is going to want a comeback fight. No, that's not the case. Maybe that's what he wants for Boots. Maybe that's why he's trying to push that on us, to try to get Boots something else before that. But no, we'll go straight into that fight.
Tim Bradley sees the matchup differently. Although he respects everything Vergil Ortiz Jr. has accomplished, Bradley believes Boots Ennis has the edge in nearly every department. In his opinion, Ennis brings superior athletic ability, greater versatility, and a wider variety of skills that allow him to adjust during a fight. Ortiz's relentless pressure and toughness are undeniable, but Bradley feels Boots possesses too many weapons and would enter the fight as the favorite.
On Bradley, you already know the rest. Vergil Ortiz can't beat no Boots Ennis. Vergil Ortiz can't beat no Boots Ennis. I promise you. Vergil Ortiz ain't beating no Boots. When y'all gonna listen? Y'all ain't got to listen. Y'all ain't got to listen. Oh, I'ma put my money where my mouth is. Ooh, I'ma put my money where my mouth is. Oh yeah. Go ahead, Vergil. Get past Lubin. Get past Lubin. Make sure you take care of business. Yeah, the next fight is gonna be against Boots Ennis. And you ain't man, listen to me, people. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Skill versus skill.
Robert Garcia quickly pushed back against Bradley's prediction. He argued that too many fans are overlooking how much Vergil Ortiz has evolved over the last few fights. Garcia pointed to Ortiz's performance against Israel Madrimov as proof that Vergil can do much more than simply march forward. He also referenced Ortiz's explosive knockout victory that showcased his finishing instincts. Garcia believes those performances prove Ortiz has matured into a complete fighter and deserves to be mentioned alongside the very best at 154 pounds.
I think the opposite. I totally think the opposite. I think Vergil, look, do people forget that it was just last year, early in that last year, that Vergil beat Madrimov and the way he did and the skills that he showed, a Madrimov who almost beat Crawford, you know, and then Vergil goes out and does what he did with Madrimov. I think not only Timothy, but a lot of people might have forgot that.
Teddy Atlas welcomed the possibility of Boots Ennis facing Vergil Ortiz Jr., calling it exactly the kind of fight the sport needs. Atlas described both men as fearless competitors with tremendous confidence and excellent body punching ability. What impressed him most about Ortiz was the growth in his overall game. Beyond the power and aggression, Atlas believes Vergil has shown quality movement, improved boxing skills, and the ability to adjust against elite competition. Those additions make him an even tougher challenge for anyone in the division.
Two confident guys, you know, two guys with great heart. I mean, look, I'll say this. Vergil showed me a few fights ago that he had a dimension I didn't know he had. When he was just, you know, going through guys, knocking them out with body shots, sinking and destroying. I don't think I knew or anyone knew that he had the ability to use his legs and box and do some boxing. He showed me that dimension. He showed me that dimension in that fight that some people thought he lost. First fight that he got tested. We didn't get a knockout. With
Sergey Bohachuk.
There it is. There it is. I wanted you to say his name. I just wanted.
Garcia also believes Ortiz owns the type of punching power and relentless mentality that could trouble Boots Ennis. According to him, if Vergil consistently lands his best shots, he has the ability to end the fight before the final bell. Garcia praised Ortiz's strength since moving to 154 pounds and expects him to pressure Boots from the opening round. He also explained that true pound-for-pound greatness comes from defeating elite opponents repeatedly and proving yourself against the very best on a consistent basis.
And I agree with Vergil. I think if Vergil is able to, you know, fight Boots and we were able to get those punches, I think it's over. I think Vergil is not going to hold back. Vergil has great, insane power at 154. So I think Vergil will.
Chris Algieri praised Boots Ennis for his remarkable talent, but also highlighted an area that still concerns him. He believes Ennis occasionally allows opponents to land clean punches, something that could become dangerous against a hard hitter like Vergil Ortiz Jr. Algieri described Ortiz as one of the division's most complete fighters, blending constant pressure with real knockout power and steadily improving technical skills. For him, that combination makes a potential showdown with Boots one of the most fascinating fights boxing can produce.
I had a lot of people ask me, like, well, how do you see, Ennis with those guys? I'm like, listen, if he gets hit the way he did in round 3 as he did with Xander, those guys are completely different punchers. So that could be a different kind of result. But you also got to think, a guy who's as good as he is and as dynamic as he is, will he fight the same way if he has more danger coming his way? Which we saw that at 147. 147, he might get hit. The guys couldn't hurt him. So now he's at 54. Guys are punching much differently. And then he's even talked about going up to 68 eventually. That's where he sees himself ultimately capping out. So, the defense has got to step up. Best fighters in the world don't get hit cleanly and more. And
the boxing community remains divided over who would win between Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. Max Kellerman leans toward Ennis because of his speed, creativity, and ability to adapt in every situation. Meanwhile, LeSean Shady McCoy favors Ortiz, believing his pressure, power, and continued development would eventually make the difference. Despite choosing different winners, both agree this is one of the premier matchups available at 154 pounds and could decide who becomes the division's next dominant force.
Longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, absolutely. And that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. Yeah. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights,
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favored.
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov, very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle.
This fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight. Then he is at least what he...
Roy Jones Jr. and Andre Ward both expressed excitement about the possibility of Boots and Ortiz sharing the ring. They pointed out that Ennis has repeatedly shown interest in making the fight happen and believe fans are eager to watch two unbeaten stars test themselves against each other. In their eyes, this is exactly the kind of high-level showdown boxing needs, with two elite fighters willing to prove themselves on the biggest stage.
I don't see no way in the world that you go off. You actually told Boots to come up here. You called Boots up there. You understand me? So all that you talk about in that post-fight press conference, don't nobody want to hear that. You told the nation when they could see it. Because, see, a lot of people couldn't see the post-fight press conference. But people saw the interview right after the fight. You told us that the man already told you, hey, it's time. You told us that's what was next. If you avoid that and don't do that, you're going to lose a lot of respect from a lot of people. And I might be one of them. Because you acted like...
You talking about Vergil Ortiz.
You better believe it. You act like you was up for the challenge. Everybody knows that like Boots said, it's time for him. Everybody wants to see Boots against a real opponent. Vergil, you're peaked right now. You're the best option to make us, to let us figure out all the answers that we want to know.
Shawn Porter focused on the fascinating contrast in styles between the two unbeaten contenders. He described Ortiz as a disciplined power puncher who has become far more selective with his offense instead of relying solely on non-stop pressure. Boots, on the other hand, reminds Porter of flowing water because of his athleticism, adaptability, and seamless transitions between offense and defense. That unpredictability is what makes Ennis such a difficult puzzle for any opponent.
Boots uses his speed. It's different from the way that Ortiz, I think Ortiz has a call on his speed. You know what I mean by that?
No.
So what I mean by call on his speed, like, you have guys who are just fluidly boom, 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 boom. And then you got other guys like Ortiz, fights with a lot of power, but now I got to pull back on his power and set you up with the speed. You know, like he has to be intentional and be selective with what he chooses to punch with. And on the other side, Boots is like water, man. He goes from the speed to the power. He goes from the left to the right.
The leverage.
He goes, he switch hits, you know.
Athletic, faster. Just defense. He does it with no defense.
Oscar de la Hoya believes the time has arrived for Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. to finally meet inside the ring. In his opinion, both fighters have reached the point in their careers where the biggest challenges should come next. He considers the matchup one of the most significant fights that can currently be made in boxing and feels it would deliver the elite competition fans have been demanding.
What a great fight. You are a machine. Zayas, a little inexperienced, but you will be back. You're a great fighter. Let's make the biggest fight in boxing today. Vergil Ortiz, Boots Ennis.
Eddie Hearn applauded Vergil Ortiz Jr. for showing no hesitation about facing Boots Ennis without first taking an easier fight. Hearn believes that kind of confidence is exactly what boxing needs more of today. He emphasized that Boots is equally prepared to accept the challenge and described the matchup as one of the sport's true blockbuster fights. According to Hearn, supporters have waited long enough to see these two undefeated stars finally collide.
I love the Vergil Ortiz fight. I've seen people saying, I was surprised that, we're not going to fight again till November, December, right? So I was surprised that Vergil will go straight into that. I'm glad he will, by the way. But also, things have changed slightly in the respect of we are now the champion. Now, I'm not trying to be difficult, but that's not even about our percentage of what we should be getting in that fight. That's more about the other belts. So Boots now has a plan to become undisputed in the division. You've got Joshua Kelly fights July 25th, but you've also got Sebastian Fundora, which is a massive fight. So, we're going to sit down with Boots. He's going to call the shots. He wants to fight Vergil Ortiz. I want to make that fight. The Zone want to make that fight. So, but everyone's like, it's just on me to make the offer. It's like, well, why aren't you fight? Well, you can make an offer if you want. You've got this incredible offer for Boots, who's now a pound-for-pound top 10, who's now the number one in the 154-pound division. So, we'll have those conversations, and we'll see what Boots wants to do, because he's earned that.
Reggie Lloyd believes Golden Boy Promotions could continue guiding Vergil Ortiz Jr. toward less risky opponents before agreeing to a showdown with Boots Ennis. Still, if the fight is eventually finalized, Lloyd expects Ennis's athleticism, versatility, and overall skill set to gradually take over. He predicts Boots would wear Ortiz down round after round before eventually forcing a stoppage somewhere in the later middle rounds.
How?
Knockout. I think Boots knocks Vergil Ortiz out.
Brutally? Or like just, stoppage?
Yeah, stoppage. Stop.
Systematic breakdown?
Oh, he's definitely going to break him down. He's definitely going to break him down.
Vergil's a kid, really, really tough, a lot of heart, good power. Do you think that works against him in a fight like this, where you know Vergil's not going to stop? He's going to come forward, and he's going to keep pressing action.
No, he's going to come forward. He won't press the action until he start getting hit back. Then it's going to change. It's going to change the game. It's going to change the game. But definitely, like the first, I see Boots stopping probably around like round 7.
Mikey Garcia also shared his thoughts on the potential clash, calling it one of the most compelling fights in the sport. While he openly praised Boots Ennis for his talent and athletic gifts, Garcia believes Ortiz's punching power gives him a legitimate chance to win. He pointed to Vergil's performances against top-level opposition, including Israel Madrimov, as evidence that his power remains effective against elite competition and could become a deciding factor.
As a boxing legend, a 4-division champ, break down Vergil and Boots. You know Vergil, you know Boots. How does the fight go?
I think Vergil's power will be the difference. Boots has really good skills. Can't deny that. Very, very talented fighter. But the power is very, very different. Once you're in the ring, he's strong, bro. You've seen him in his last few fights. And the power is just impressive. Boots gets caught with 1 or 2 of those shots, and it's gonna hurt him. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight, though. I think Boots he's got the skills to be, very, very good and competitive, and then have some really good rounds. But I think Vergil's power will be there.
Following Boots Ennis' latest victory, boxing analyst Wade Plemons argued that a fight with Vergil Ortiz Jr. should be the obvious next step. In his view, there is no better matchup available right now, and it represents the most exciting direction for both fighters if boxing wants to deliver the biggest possible event.
Fight is Vergil Ortiz. They want to see the Vergil Ortiz fight. Ortiz stepped up and fought Madrimov after Madrimov looked good against Bud. It was supposed to be Ortiz and Boots Ennis already. And, whatever happened with the deal and DAZN taking over and Golden Boy and the whole thing, now Vergil's going back to Golden Boy. Let's get the fight done. Vergil seems to want it. Bud wants it. Eddie wants it. I'm sure Oscar wants it. It's time. There's no reason for that not to be the fight. The only thing that would take my interest in that fight away completely is if one Terrence Bud Crawford decided to come out of it. I highly doubt that's going to happen, because I would never say this, but some have said that Terrence Bud Crawford went to 168 and then retired for a reason. And that reason was Boots Ennis. Here's what Crawford said after the win. I'm going to keep my comments to myself, but y'all get it, I hope. We've seen you get rocked hella times too. Stop hating Unc. He almost got knocked out by Xander. Bud sends Boots to the morgue. All you do is comment. You said you'd gain nothing from fighting him, so just enjoy retirement. I agree with this, by the way. I agree with, if Bud is going to talk on Twitter, and I said this when he talked about Ilya Toro. If you're retired, don't do the Floyd Mayweather thing where, I would have beat him. See, I would have beat him. If you think you can beat Boots, come back and fight him. Bud's not going to do that. He's retired. He said he's retired. But what's the point in sitting on the porch in the rocking chair talking about, well, in my day, I would have. The only thing that we now get, because Bud said, I'm going to keep my comments to myself, but I hope y'all get it now. The only thing I get is that it would have been a fun matchup. 2 absolute dogs in there. Could Terrence have knocked him out? Maybe, because it didn't look like, the beard gate right now is crazy. Samson style. For Boots Ennis. He shaves the beard and he gets hurt for the first time. But I would have loved to have seen the fight. Looking at that fight tonight, that would have been a fantastic matchup, him and Boots. Because not like Terrence didn't go life and death with Madrimov, right? Like, that was a close fight for Terrence. One that some people thought he lost. So, again, I don't like when fighters do these Twitter fingers things. This is what I said is one of the worst things about boxing.
With both Jaron Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. publicly showing interest in facing one another, attention now shifts to the promoters and decision makers. Will boxing finally deliver one of the most anticipated fights in the sport, or will each man take another path first? Share your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more boxing news, fight analysis, and the latest updates.